I wanted to show you my yellow shorts. I love yellow. It was all yellow. The way we are in our personal lives often shows up in the workplace. You might be highly sensitive to getting in trouble, for example, or very attuned to people's emotions. If someone says to you, hey, can we have a meeting in about 5 minutes? You might automatically go to an anxious, am I in trouble? I'm a bit like that. And I think because I grew up in a culture that was about perfection and being your best self all the time, and that being the measure of what good is, and anything less than that isn't good. And I have to coach myself into not worrying automatically, or even teaching people around me to be like, hey, when you ask for a meeting, can you give me a bit of context? So I talked about how independently distributing this film, Loved Out, which we made with a wonderful, beautiful crew, for not a lot of money, but we created something magical when we had a cinematic run in South Africa. The movie played in over 30 cinemas. I wanted to share 6 things that I learned that also translate to my personal life. And I remember during the shoot, several things happened and I didn't know how to navigate it because I hadn't directed a live action film before. And so I was leaning on my first AD, leaning on the cinematographer, people that have been on many, many, many film sets. So leaning on your community is very important. Today, I want to talk about another life lesson that I learned from this shoot. And that is about kind of a part 2 of the community thing, but it's watching what your community is doing. So there are people in my life, other Zimbabwean filmmakers that are doing incredible things, and other Zimbabwean artists that are doing incredible work. Because in watching how they move, I was inspired when I experienced various things. So I wanted to start with Zoe Ramushu, who is an independent filmmaker. She's got a law degree. She was one of the founders of SWIFT, which is a female-led organization that supports the rights and the needs of women in the entertainment business. And I remember when we had a really big curveball that had a financial implication, and I'd never experienced anything like that. And thank goodness we had insurance, but I didn't know how to make the next move, and there was a cash flow issue. And Zoe is just somebody who had just done an independent film prior to me, and she's also a particular mind. She's run an NGO, and her legal brain was something that I leveraged. And she took my call. We had an 8-hour time difference, was very generous with her networks and her community and her thoughts. And even though the very specific solution that she proposed wasn't exactly what we did, it opened up thinking. And so I just want to celebrate Zoe right now and say thank you. Yes, she made an indie film, but her skill sets were slightly different to mine. And so that is the thing about community as well, is that putting people around you that aren't a copy and paste of you or don't necessarily think the way you think can add so much value. And so the personal life lesson for me in that is you need a diverse group of friends, a diverse group of people that can speak into you and call things out in a way that you'll see differently, that adds so much value.
Loved Out now in Zambia and Zimbabwe.